because when he did that, the primary thought, at least within hip hop, was I can never receive J. Cole's music the same. And I was curious, and forgive me if you already said, I don't remember
That's
your
all good.
opinion on that. Like, did your opinion on him change in terms of how you receive his music?
No, it would have.
J. Cole. The industry is putting respect on your name. Now, for context, it's important to note that this conversation stimulates from a couple of questions I had for Marc Lamont Hill during one of the more recent Twitter spaces with Danny from the Stop.
Yeah. So, Mark, you joined the pod after the whole beef situation with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, and I was curious for your opinion on what your opinion on J. Cole was, and his decision
I mean, I gave it
pre-beef and
yeah.
after.
I mean, I'm happy to answer, but I did give this opinion on the show when it was happening. Remember, some of my first appearances were when this was happening. But my answer would be, especially after we saw where this beef went, I totally get why J. Cole wouldn't want no parts. My issue with J. Cole was never that he didn't want in. It's that he went in and then stepped out. My thing is, if you don't want to be part of it, don't say shit. If he had ignored like that, I wouldn't have said a word. I wouldn't have cared. I might have said a little something on some hip hop shit, but I think it looked way worse to write a song and then take it back. Get that? It's like it's hard. It was like this. Like it's hard to beef with niggas you ain't got beef with. It's hard to battle niggas you ain't got issues with. And where they are in their careers, like the just lyrical miracle beefs or battles is like not everybody's in that space. That's not the kind of art they want to produce. So I ain't mad at that. I love J. Cole seems happy. He seems unbothered, and I'm happy for him. I have such admiration for him as an artist. He's not my favorite MC, but he's of this generation of MCs. He's up there, and like I just love it. I love watching him do what he does.
Got you. Yeah, I think that most J. Cole, if you ask the diehard J. Cole fan, they'll tell you that their disappointment in Cole wasn't him bowing out. It was the fact that he got outside of himself and put a song out there, right?
Right.
But I'm more curious because when he did that, the primary thought, at least within hip hop, was I can never receive J. Cole's music the same. And I was curious, and forgive me if you already said, I don't remember your opinion on that. Did your opinion on him change in terms of how you receive his music?
No. It would have 20 years ago. But as a middle-aged black man, I understand it. I look at it through a different lens. I look at it through the lens not of what's the best for hip hop. I look at it through the lens of what's the best for your spirit? What's the best for your life? What makes you happy? What do we want to do? We want to crash out and start talking about people, baby moms, and people. You know what I mean? Just let him live.
Let him live. Now, if you would like to hear that full conversation, Danny has it posted on his Patreon. I'll be sure to have that link for it in my description. But let's get back to the topic. You see, I find it intriguing that a lot of notable voices have been changing their tone on Cole when it comes to how his decision was initially received. While Marc Lamont Hill holds that his opinion on Cole never wavered, many of you responded in one of my previous videos with mixed opinions on how you will receive Cole's music going forward. Now, albeit an overwhelming majority felt much like Guru and Joe, there were still mixed opinions nonetheless. But let me know what you think in the comments. Are you receiving Cole's music differently than you were before? Please let me know and we can engage in that dialogue. Now, I, for one, am amazed at the fact that a large section of music fans appear to have zero understanding of why and how Cole has built this cult-like following that he has to this day. J. Cole didn't become J. Cole by following trends and doing whatever is popular within the confines of hip-hop. He became one of the biggest artists in music because he is a genuine person who just so happens to also be a brilliant writer and producer. And he pens his life in such a transparent way that it resonates with his people differently than any other artist. But you don't have to take my word for it. Just listen to what his manager and Dreamville president has to say.
Yo, chill. Like, like, you know what I mean? So it's just a realization of like, it's just like you said, it's just relatable.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I always felt like he does better than everyone else. That's why it's funny when I see the conversation online. It's like, he's not trying to be deep. Like, there's nothing that's trying to be deep about it. Yeah. It's so relatable that it hits certain people very deep. You know what I mean? And then, you know, people take it how they want it, but
they're telling themselves when they say that. I always say that about people that go out of their way to be like, oh, he's boring, he's this, he's that. Yeah. I'm like, yo, you're telling yourself.
You just didn't feel it. You just didn't. It didn't connect with you. Cool.
If it didn't connect with you, that is totally fine.
Exactly.
Just say that.
You know what's funny? Speaking of like online,
and there you have it. Now, just because something didn't connect with you, it doesn't mean it's trash. It just wasn't for you, and that's okay. But speaking of trash, I shared this on Twitter because I saw a growing narrative on Cole and Dreamville in terms of how they have handled album rollouts. I don't know if people just haven't been paying attention, but it's been a lot of independent releases from artists within that camp, and I've been looking into why that may be. But nevertheless, JID found himself as the subject of such criticisms for his album rollout or lack thereof. Now, I personally felt those critiques weren't valid, especially considering the verse that he just released this past weekend with Offset.
Right, so I felt like this is satisfying. This song Bodies is satisfying that exciting sort of pre-release. I'm building momentum type of thing for JID. Like, Work felt like, yeah, it's just a dope regular JID song, but I don't know if it's going to because I see JID, I know what he's doing. I feel like he's trying to get. Yeah, because motherfuckers have been like, yeah, JID he's been next up since Christ was here and shit. Everybody keeps saying the same thing. Like, we've been saying he's next up for a long time now. But I feel like this is the type of song for a new album that needs to fulfill that next, to help him fulfill that next step. Yeah, I get it. Right? It's like a little bit more, it's a banger. It's not like a pop song, but it's a banger that I think appeals to a wider range of hip hop heads. Right. With Offset, the Bodies Hit the Floor, I think it can really, I think it's just a better look for him for that next step to really get people excited for the album. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yo, shout out to Lost in Vegas. Those dudes are without question two of my favorite people when it comes to reacting to the music. But you all let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with what Marc Lamont Hill had to say in terms of J. Cole? Also, do you think Dreamville is dropping the ball in terms of how they are promoting their artists? Let me know what you think in the comments. But that's my video for the day. Caleb from Twitter is signing out. Hey, before I get out of here, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that has liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel. You know, one person in particular, Who Dat 644 says, real hip hop heads are aware of your discography, Wale, a timeless music. One day they'll revisit and realize how they missed out on. And so, Who Dat, first off, thank you for taking the time to leave that comment and give Wale his flowers, because Wale, he got some pretty bad press these past 2 weeks, and a large portion of that came from fans who aren't necessarily fans of music, they just fan of one particular artist. And so I was happy to be able to shine a light on Wale's, just his music, and also saw that he recently put out a single. And so please go support that. In terms of his personality, he may not be everybody's cup of tea, right? But I think that we should really just champion and support those artists that actually care about the music, right? But let me just give a quick update on the channel. Yo, we currently have 1,140 subscribers. Like, for those of you that's been rocking with me since day one, y'all know how insane that is, because I've literally been documenting the journey. Like, anytime I've had 400 subscribers, 500 subscribers, 600, like, I've documented. I'm so grateful. And so my mind is really blown away to see how fast this channel has been growing. And so thank you. For those of you that are new here, this is a J. Cole Center page, right? I wanted to create a space for J. Cole fans to really necessarily just talk about the music and those artists and those other artists where it intersects. And so this is what this is, but I appreciate you all for tagging along. If you're a music fan, you're welcome here. And so I do appreciate it. But that's all I got for today. Caleb. Peace.